You are sitting on the floor, dragging a toy across the carpet. Your cat is pouncing, seemingly immersed in the game. Then, in a fraction of a second, the energy shifts. Their claws extend, striking your hand with the mechanical precision of a hunt. These sudden escalations often lead to the assumption that cats are moody or emotionally distant. We view their behavior as a series of unpredictable impulses. This ancient artifact represents a turning point. While wild cats were strictly solitary hunters, domestic cats have spent thousands of years adapting to life in close proximity to humans. Survival in these social environments required a way to communicate boundaries without resorting to physical conflict. Domestication drove an evolutionary pivot in feline communication. Using the cat facial action coding system, researchers mapped the underlying muscle movements of the domestic cat, identifying a repertoire of 276 distinct facial expressions. We are going to break down those specific muscle groups into a step-by-step anatomical checklist. This provides a scientific framework for distinguishing a harmless game from a genuine aggressive response. Translating these subtle shifts in the ears, eyes, and whiskers prevents accidental injuries and establishes a predictable, shared connection rooted in your cat's evolutionary history. Step 1 requires observing your cat from several feet away before you ever introduce a toy. You need a baseline assessment of their physical state before any physical engagement begins. Look at the whiskers first. These are highly sensitive sensory organs that signal a cat's immediate intentions. Whiskers pointing forward indicate curiosity and a biological readiness to interact. Whiskers pulled back and flattened tightly against the cheeks serve as a warning sign. This indicates fear or anxiety, meaning play must not be initiated. Next, evaluate the eyes. In feline communication, direct, unblinking eye contact functions as a biological threat or a challenge. However, if your cat holds your gaze and then deliberately closes their eyes, they are performing a calculated vulnerability test. By holding their eyes shut, the cat signals to their own nervous system that the environment is secure. Passing the whisker check and receiving a slow blink confirms a stable emotional state, allowing for a safe transition into play mode. Once the toy is in motion, you must analyze the mouth and ears to ensure the cat's arousal remains strictly playful. A true play face requires specific anatomical criteria: a relaxed jaw, partially open lips, and ears pointing forward. Note the ocular component. The pupils should be slightly dilated, reflecting a playful glint, rather than fully blown out, which indicates a state of panic. This split-screen comparison shows how quickly signals shift. On the left, the relaxed muscle structure of a play face. On the right, the facial tension of defensive aggression. Notice the specific indicators: wrinkled skin across the nose, tight lips, and ears flattened against the skull. Misinterpreting a defensive nose wrinkle for a playful open mouth is the primary cause of pushing a cat beyond its boundaries into a real attack. When the energy levels rise and the cat starts moving quickly, the evaluation shifts from facial microexpressions to full-body physical indicators. The first indicator is role reversal. The chasing cat briefly stops to be chased. Second is a lack of over-aggression, batting with sheathed claws and no hissing. Third is a loose, bouncy posture, contrasting with a rigid freezing of genuine fear. Continuously verifying these three physical cues ensures that high-energy roughhousing remains a mutually consensual game, rather than an escalating conflict. Your own body language affects the interaction. Position yourself so you don't trigger the cat's defense mechanisms. Avoid sudden lunges or moving directly into their personal space. When using toys, keep them at ground level. Move the toy away from the cat to mimic fleeing prey, rather than shoving it toward their face. Mirroring the cat's slow blink back to them creates a continuous cross-species feedback loop of safety and trust. To maintain a safe game, follow the sequence. Check for forward whiskers, confirm the relaxed jaw of the play face, initiate the slow blink, and monitor the three physical indicators. This anatomical checklist removes the guesswork from your cat's behavior. Try the slow blink tonight and subscribe to continue decoding the science of the human-feline bond.